Good morning. My name is Emily Voss, and I am a participant in Chalkfest. This will be, I believe, my 12th or 13th year out of the 15 years of Chalkfest. The past few years, I've been a featured artist in the center of the square. And today, I just wanted to share with you a few tips and tricks related to color that might help you with your own piece this year. So one of the things that I really love about chalk is that it's so vibrant and so bright, and it has the potential to really just leap off of the sidewalk at you. One of the things that I like to kind of keep in mind is that it's okay to, in your piece of art, to experiment with color and use color a little bit differently than it is in the image. So specifically, I tend to draw portraits. So instead of using, a peach skin tone or browns or tans to, work on my piece, I like to pick different highlight and shadow colors that are totally outside of the box, nothing that you would actually see in real life, but it really adds a lot of depth, and I feel like I'm able to use those vibrant properties of the chalk. For example, my piece 2 years ago, this was the image. I'll pop it up on the screen, but you can see I didn't necessarily use the typical skin tone colors. I chose to use a lot of blues, a lot of purples. This is that really bright magenta color that comes in the box. Even the highlights you'll see is a really light blue. I used a little bit of white here, but it really just makes it come together and just almost leap off the pavement. My piece last year, I used similar concepts. So you'll see I started with more of a yellow-orange base, but for the highlight, or for the shadows, I used a lot of purples. I used that magenta again. There's blues in there. And again, it just makes it feel much more full. It gives it more volume. And it's really fun to play with. So I would definitely encourage you to consider using some different colors. Maybe even if you're practicing ahead of time, really look at your picture and think, like, what color could I use that would be a little bit different? The other great thing about that is typically you really would like to avoid using black. For those of you that have done it, it tends to get all over the place. And it kind of flattens out the image. So I certainly use black in a few areas. In this picture, I used a little bit in the clothes here. I used it because her mouth is slightly parted in this picture. But other than that, there's really not black in the image. This one, there is a little bit more just because it's in the hair. And there's a little bit under here, but otherwise, these are really dark browns and blues. So definitely avoid using black as much as possible. And if you do use black, that's what you want to do last, because like I said, it smears all over the place. It gets a little crazy. So you should definitely do that on Sunday. You can add the blacks in without them just going everywhere. But another great option is just to throw out black altogether. Use browns, use blues, use purples. Add a little more life to your image and just get a little creative with it. Don't be afraid of the color. It's easy too when you're applying pigment, if you're a little bit nervous, then sometimes you just put it on really faint and you're afraid to really commit to a color, but don't be afraid. Like, that's how you get those really awesome full pieces, is commit to a color, grab a color, make a few broad strokes, go after it, use the whole swath of the stick. You don't have to use the tiny, tiny little detail end all the time. Just commit, use that color, and you'll be way better off. So I hope those tips can kind of help you guys out a little bit. I know it's a little different in portraits versus landscapes or cartoon characters, but the same principles definitely apply. So, study your image a little bit ahead of time, maybe even do some sketches in colored pencil if you're nervous to go straight onto the pavement, and just have fun with those colors.